Hello everyone, welcome to the first video of introspection. We thought to make a video on the history of India on the occasion of Independence Day. As you can see the title of Independent India, so I am going to talk about Independent India. And I am going to talk about those times which clearly justify the meaning of Independent India. The first period is between 325 BC and 184 BC. To be honest, I don't even know when is that actually. But I know one thing for sure, those are the periods when the time is moving backward. For example, 323 BC comes before 322 BC and apparently it is very long ago. This is a period when our country was under the Mauryan Empire, starting with one of the finest kings of India, Chandragupta Maurya. Although this is way too long ago, Mauryan administration is said to have a resemblance to our present day administration. Important aspects of the Mauryan Empire. The Indian subcontinent was divided into hundreds of kingdoms ruled by independent chiefs who were in conflict with each other. But Chandragupta Maurya occupied all those kingdoms one by one and brought all those under one empire for the first time. This is simply the first time India has been centralized. At its peak, the Mauryan Empire extended its control to the west to what is now Balochistan and Pakistan and the Hindu Kush mountains of what is now East Afghanistan. This simply means that at that time, India is unification of multiple countries irrespective of the religion. Mauryan Empire is the largest political entity that has ever existed in the Indian subcontinent, extending over the vast 5 million square kilometers. At present, the area of India is 3.2 million square kilometers. Even in those days, the administration under the Mauryan Empire was very sophisticated, systematic and professional. The bureaucracy consists of council of ministers to assist the king and the governor of separate provinces, and the division of civil services were clearly defined. The land is divided into provinces, then into cities, towns and villages, and then into districts. For each district with individual administrators, officials have been appointed to look after each and every department from municipal level to international trade. The system of single currency and single economy throughout the country was first introduced under the reign of Mauryan Empire. Grand Trunk Road, the longest and the oldest road in Asia, was built under the Mauryan Empire. This road runs through Bangladesh, India, Pakistan and Afghanistan for 3,700 kilometers. Mauryan army was a very well trained and largest standing army of its time. It is said to contain 6 lakh soldiers, 8,000 chariots, 30,000 cavalry and 9,000 war elephants. Even there would be spies appointed to collect information. Even trade and commerce were at their best with very good agricultural productivity. Farmers were freed of tax and crop collection burdens from regional kings. Instead, they would pay a nationally administered and strict but fair system of taxation. Even a forest department was administered. There are death penalties imposed if trees were cut or if animals were harmed. All this welfare and self-efficiency of the country has grown even more under the reign of Ashoka the Great, who is the son of Bimbisara and the grandson of Chandragupta Maurya. It is during the rule of Ashoka the animal conservatory policies were implemented for the first time. Although the Mauryan kings belonged to Hinduism, Chandragupta Maurya later embraced Jainism after taking voluntary retirement as king. Even Ashoka followed principles of Buddhism. No matter what the religion kings belong to and what they follow, there is always respect and equal priority for the people of all the other religions. Even the classification of society was done based on occupation rather than religion or caste. The classification and division of society was done as follows. Philosophers, associated with all religious activities. Cattle breeders and farmers, as you already know their roles. Artisans, like cobblers, carpenters and blacksmiths. Soldiers, who were related to military and warfare. Councillors, who were a part of council of ministers. And finally, magistrates. Most of these political, military and economic systems are derived from Arthashastra written by Chanakya, who is said to be the pioneer of political science and economy in India. And also, there are few honorable mentions of their rule. Widow remarriages are encouraged. There is absence of slavery. Very healthy wildlife. Famines are rare. Acts of theft and other criminal activities were very rare. And obviously, there is no radiation, pollution and even there is no COVID-19. Knowing that these types of modern systems are made possible in Iron Age, when more than half of the world didn't even exist, is overwhelming. But that's enough of Mauryan Empire. It's time for Gupta Empire. This period is considered as Golden Age of India by some of the historians. The rise of Chandragupta I, the first ruler of Gupta Empire who ended the domination of provincial empires which lasted for 500 years, starting with the decline of Mauryan Empire. The Gupta Empire are said to be expert in various military fields. Long story short, people led a simple life under Gupta Empire. Commodities were affordable and all-round prosperity ensured that their requirements were easily met. They preferred vegetarianism and non-veg consumption is occasional and also avoided all alcoholic drinks. Gold and silver coins have been issued in large numbers, which is a general indication of a healthy economy. Trade and commerce have flourished both inside and outside the country. Silk, cotton, spices, medicine, precious gemstone, pearl, precious metal, and steel were exported by the sea. But the rulers of Gupta didn't stop there, but went a step forward, because under the Gupta Empire, our country has seen a vast achievement in art, architecture, science, religion, and philosophy that are still admired. The scholars of this period include Varahamihira and Aryabhatta, who are believed to be the first to come up with the concept of zero and to postulate the theory that Earth is moving around the Sun, and to study the solar and lunar eclipses. Kalidasa, who was a great playwright who wrote plays such as Abhignana Sakuntalam and who marked the highest point in Sanskrit literature, is also said to have belonged to this period. The major concepts of Ayurvedic medicine, with innovative chapters on surgery, dates back to Gupta period. Doctors invented several medical instruments and even performed surgeries. P. Vishnu Sharma from the Gupta period is thought to be the author of Panchatantra Fables, one of the most widely translated non-religious books in history. Chess is said to have developed in this period, when its early form in 6th century was known as Chaturanga, which translates as 4 divisions of the army: infantry, cavalry, elephantry, and chariot, represented by the pieces that would evolve into modern pawns, knights, bishops, and rooks respectively. This period is said to be the peak period of North Indian art for all major religions. There are several monuments, sculptures, and paintings that have been made in this period. I don't know what you observed from this video, but these two periods with no foreign rulers and protecting India from invaders reminded me that real and independent India is not just about richness in population, wealth, trade, and commerce, but also about the true and welfare-oriented leadership ensuring equality to everyone. It is also about the unity that is maintained within the people irrespective of their birth details, because that's how the great advancements in several fields like art, architecture, science, religion, and philosophy occur. No matter what, our country has come a long way in various aspects, and we still need to be proud of it. And ultimately, it's our country and we need to be responsible for it. Thank you. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. Let us know what you feel in the comments. And also, consider subscribing to the channel and click the bell icon to get notified whenever we come up with a new video. We will see you in the next video. Until then, cheers.